years. I've enjoyed working with SyncEffect. So I'm really super excited to be here with all of you today. So before we get started, the one thing that I do want to say is this is going to be a very physical workshop. So you need to make sure that you have some space, and you need to make sure that you feel comfortable with your space. Some of the activities that we're going to be doing today, they are going to maybe push you a little bit in terms of your comfort zone, and also your ability to be expressive. We are not looking at what you're doing on screen. It's really important to know that this is not about what you're doing. We're not watching that. You need to feel comfortable exploring in your own space, and I'm going to be exploring along with you. If you don't feel comfortable exploring with your camera on, you can turn it off. But if you want, it's fine to have it on, because again, we're not watching you. We want you to feel comfortable exploring in your own space. So please make sure that you're in a good place, that you have some space to do some work on the floor, and we're really looking forward to participating. So you've had a wonderful session with Sheila. We're going to get up now, so we need everyone to stand up. We are going to do a little bit of a warm-up, so we're just going to stretch up nice and high up to the sky, stretching up to the sky, and just give it a little shake, and let your arms come down to your side and shake it out. Now we're going to do what's called a vertebrae curl. For those of you who have been with me before, you know how to do this. You're just going to stretch up to the sky, and you're going to just bend right over, completely over, okay? So that your hands are down, just sort of hanging there nice and loose. Okay, just give your arms a nice shake. I want you to take your arms and put them around yourself. I want you to give yourself a nice big hug, okay? And I want you to take a deep breath in. Deep breath in, and let the breath out. And when you take your next deep breath in, I want you to feel the air expanding in the back of your rib cage. So deep breath in. Imagine that the air is filling every single space, and let the breath out. Okay, and shake your arms out. Now we're going to roll up very nice and slowly. Imagine that your vertebrae, the back of your spine, are stacking on top of each other. So nice and slowly, all the way up. When you come up, your shoulders are down, okay? You want to imagine that there's a golden string at the top of your head that's lifting you up, okay? So shoulders are down, nice long neck, golden string all the way up to the top, all right? So you want to have really nice posture. Posture is so important, and we talk a lot about in drama muscle memory. One of the things is that your muscles remember what you do. So if you practice bad posture, your muscles are going to remember that. But if you practice good posture, your muscles are going to remember that, which is going to just help you in terms of your overall presentation. So whenever you're at home, anytime during the day, constantly check in with yourself. This is a very easy recentering that you can do to just get that posture. And when we're doing some of our physical character creation activities, we always want to start here, which is our neutral. That way we can add character or layer on character and have our posture ready to go. Awesome. So very good. So what we're going to do is you're going to put your hand on your diaphragm. Okay, so you're going to find your belly button. You're going to go down, the 3 fingers down, make a fist right here, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to take a deep breath in, and you want the breath to come out. Okay, so as you're breathing in, you don't want your shoulders going up. You want to press against your hand so that your stomach and your diaphragm is pressing out. So here we go, deep breath in, and let the breath out. Now, as you let the breath out, your fist is coming in a little bit, putting pressure right here on your diaphragm muscle, and that's helping to support your breathing. So again, deep breath in, and let the breath out. And again, your fist is coming in this way as you let the breath out. If we breathe like this and our shoulders go up, okay, we're only filling up from here to here. So we're just taking a really tiny breath. If we were singing, we'd call it a cheating breath, just to get that little bit of extra air. But it's not a deep breath, and it doesn't help center you. So you want to make sure that you're always breathing from down here. Okay, fun activity. Everyone's done this before, but I like to do this because I really feel that this activity is a great way to improve your breath capacity. And as synchronized swimmers, artistic swimmers, you want to always be expanding your breath capacity. So one arm's up in the air. You're going to take that deep diaphragm breath in. So deep breath in. And you're going to let a breath out to, it's the S sound, like a snake. Okay, here we go. Letting the breath out. Deep breath in and now you're going to keep going. When you can't breathe anymore, you're going to put your hand down. So keep going until you just can't breathe anymore. It feels nice and tight in there. And let your hand drop down. Okay. Some people are still going, which is fantastic. Great. So one thing that you can do just on your own as an activity to put in your toolkit is you can practice doing this and try to do it. Next time, I want you to try to go a little bit longer and a little bit longer and a little bit longer. It will actually help you to improve your breath capacity and your breath support, which is a great thing to have. Okay, we're going to do a shakedown. So we're going to start with our right hand, move to our left. We're going to move to our right foot and our left foot. So we're going to go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 2, 1. 2, 1. 2, 1. 2, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Awesome. Okay. So once again, a really great, quick, physical energizer to get you ready to be creative and be expressive. Okay, so we're gonna play a little game, and this game is called Wax Museum. Now, normally we would play it in a large group, but we're gonna play it by ourselves in our own space. And the purpose of the activity is just to be as expressive as possible, okay? So what's gonna happen is I'm going to take us into a room in the Wax Museum. When you're in the room, you are going to take on the type of character that's in that room. And you're gonna go around the room and be as expressive as possible. When I say freeze, I want you to find a pose in the Wax Museum as one of the creatures in the museum, okay? So we're gonna start with the animal room. Now, the one thing I will say before we start is if you have been to one of my workshops before, and if you have done this activity with me before, there's nothing wrong with that. It's great to play, it's great to explore, and the more that you can practice playing and exploring, the more expressive you're gonna be in your session. So those of you who have done this before, I challenge you to take it a little bit further, to push yourself to the limit and to really take a risk. Okay, so the first room in the Wax Museum that we're in is the animal room. So you can choose an animal, and I want you to start moving around your room as that animal. So get into the shape of that animal, explore, start moving around the room. Now I challenge you, I see some of you moving around the room as your animal. Make it a little bigger, make it a little bit more dramatic, really big, really expressive, and freeze. Now, hold that pose. I'm walking around the Wax Museum, and I'm gonna take a look at that pose. So hold that pose. Now, can you make that pose? Can you tweak it a little bit? Can you make it a little bit bigger? A little bit bigger. Tweak it. That's it. And hold it. Freeze and hold it. Excellent. Okay, unfreeze. We are now at the beach. So this room is the beach. And you can be anything you want at the beach. You can be a sea creature. You can be a person who's at the beach. You can be anything you want. Just start exploring your space at the beach. So what are you doing at the beach? Play, have fun, do everything you want to do at the beach, and freeze. Okay, now stay frozen, completely frozen. Take a quick look at your pose. Can you tweak it? Can you make it a little bigger? Can you think of your facial expression? Can you make it a little brighter? That's it. Awesome. And unfreeze, shake it out, shake it out. We are now in the jungle. So I want you to go through the jungle. You can be an explorer in the jungle. You can be an animal in the jungle. You can be a plant in the jungle. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, moving around your room as something in the jungle. Can you make it bigger? One step further. Imagine that your audience is sitting further away. You need to make it bigger, more expressive, more energy, a little faster. Take it a little faster. Make your movements a little bit more dynamic and freeze. Find a pose. Hold that pose. Now, tweak your pose. Make it a little bit more dynamic. Push yourself to the limit. Make it bigger and freeze again in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Very good. Okay, shake it out. We are now in the dinosaur exhibit. Okay, you're going to be any kind of dinosaur. You're very, very ferocious. So being ferocious, you're big and you're scary and you've got to take up a lot of space. So think about, what does that do to your face when you're big and you're scary? Moving around the room as a dinosaur. You're big and you're scary. And you need to take that expression and put it into your body and into your face. Here we go. And you're going to freeze in 5 seconds. So think about what your pose is going to look like. I want this to be your most elaborate and dramatic pose. You're freezing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make it big. Good. Think of that facial expression. If you don't have one, add it on. Good. And unfreeze. Very good. We are now in the zombie room, okay? So you're in the zombie room, so you're gonna start moving around like a zombie. So moving around the room. Think about how zombies move. What happens to your body? Think about what happens to your body when you're moving as a zombie. Get ready to freeze in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, freeze. Good, excellent facial expressions, fantastic, very good, and shake it out, shake it out. We are going into the superhero room, Okay, so you're all gonna be superheroes, nice and big. Superheroes are moving very fast because they're rushing to save the world, so your movements need to be very quick, very fast. Here we go, think of your pose. We're gonna freeze in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, freeze. Awesome, very good, and shake it out. We're now in our robot room. So you're gonna be a robot. Think about how robots move. Their movements are often very jerky, okay? Slightly twitchy, so start moving around, exploring your space. Robots don't have to move fast. It's not like the superheroes. They can move nice and slow. So you can slow those movements down, really explore them. Think about your facial expression. Here we go, we're gonna think of our pose. We're gonna freeze in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, freeze. Make it a little bit bigger, okay? Unfreeze your pose for 5 more seconds. Think about how can you make it a little bit more bigger? How can it be a little bit more dynamic, interesting to your audience? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, freeze. Excellent, excellent. Okay, shake it out. Grab a quick drink of water. Quick drink of water. Okay. Okay, we're gonna be working today with some emotions, and we're gonna be looking at how we physically express the emotions, but we're also gonna be thinking about how we express them in terms of our facial expression. So we're gonna start with just a basic exploration of some emotions, and then we're gonna get a little bit more specific. We're gonna do an activity called transformations. And what you need to do for transformations is you're gonna stand on one side of your room. You're gonna start with an emotion on that side of your room, and you're gonna move to the other side of your room, and we're gonna transform into another emotion, okay? So if everybody could just find a spot standing on one side of their room. So go to wherever you think you have a good spot on one side of your room. Okay. And what I want you to think about the first time through is the transition. So we're going to do one emotion. We're going to start with happiness, and we're going to transition into sadness. Now, we don't want to just see a facial expression of happiness on one side of the room and a facial expression of sadness on the other side of the room. It's the transition, it's the change from happiness to sadness that's the interesting piece. So what I want you to think about as you move from one side of your room to your other side of your room is what happens to you physically as you begin to change from being really happy about something to realizing that you're actually a little bit sad. Okay, so on one side of your room, you're ready? All right, so first of all, let's see what you think you would do. If you had to strike a pose, we'll go with the frozen pose. Let's strike a very happy pose in 5, frozen pose, 3, 2, 1, freeze, very happy. Great, showing the facial expression. In 5 seconds, that pose is gonna come to life. You're gonna move across the room, and very slowly you're going to, as you move across the room, get a little bit more sad and then end in a frozen pose of sadness, okay? So here we go, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happiness comes to life, moving across your room, walking across your room in happiness, happiness changing into sadness, and in 5 seconds, you will be in a frozen pose of sadness. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, freeze. Excellent. Okay, shake it off. All right, back to your starting position of your room. We're going to try some other emotions. Very, very good. Great exploration. And I saw some really neat pieces of transition in the middle, which makes it interesting. So when you're thinking of your artistic swimming routines, you want to think about you're matching your emotions to the music. You don't want to just come up and all of a sudden you have a happy facial expression. You go underwater, next time you come up, you got a sad facial expression. You got to transition into that the same way the music transitions. So we're going to go from surprised. If everybody can think about what does surprise look like on your face and in your body. Here we go. You're going to come up with a frozen pose for surprise in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Frozen pose for surprise. And throw your body into it, okay? Make sure your body is in that frozen pose for surprise. You're going to transition from surprised into being afraid as you move across your room, starting now. Moving across your room, transitioning in 5 into fear, 4, 3, moving now, 2, 1. Transitioning into being really afraid. Show me fear and freeze. Excellent, very good. Shake it off. Okay, next one we're gonna work with is celebration. You are so excited, you just won the lottery. Best day ever, okay? So let's see a frozen pose. Think about your facial expression. Think about what you're doing with your body that shows that you are super excited, celebrating. Here we go, freezing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, freeze. Hold that pose. And now, bring that pose to life. Go, moving in celebration. You're so excited. Moving. Excellent. And transitioning to anger. You're getting really mad because they told you they were wrong. You didn't actually win the lottery. So you're getting really mad into anger and freezing in anger in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, freeze. Good, excellent. Okay, we are going to move on to thinking about our facial expressions. And we are gonna take a look at some facial expressions. So you all did a fantastic job moving around and thinking about physically those emotions in your body. But now we're gonna actually just work specifically with our face, because as artistic swimmers, your face is often above the water. The judges are gonna see your face. You want to think about what message your face is conveying. So I'm going to share my screen with you. And we're going to go here. So we've got these different facial expressions here. Now, one thing that I'll tell you that's a great thing you can do for your toolbox is to be able to Google some pictures, there's hundreds of images of different facial expressions. And if there's an emotion that you're trying to convey in your routine, you can look at these and you can start practicing them at home. Can everybody see my screen okay? Can everybody see the facial expressions? Give me a thumbs up. Awesome. Okay, so the first one that we are gonna try, now can you see yourselves in your screen the way I can see myself in my screen? Can everybody give me a thumbs up if you can see your own face in your screen? Yeah, awesome. So you can use your camera on your computer as a mirror, all right? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna practice trying these facial expressions, okay? So the first one is anger. And what we wanna do is really try, we have a nice picture of this little boy who's very, very upset. He's very angry. So can you all, in your own space right now, try to make a facial expression similar to his for anger? Can we try that?
Is Karen frozen? Oh, she just left. Why did you leave? I didn't know they heard you.
I thought, I was like, how long do we have to hold this for? He froze. I'm sure she's gonna come back on. That was hilarious. Frozen in the anger pose. Oh my God, that was fun.
Yeah, it's good job, guys. So good.
Yeah. It is fun. I hope she comes back in. Oh my God, hilarious. Haven't got a message from her, but I'm sure she'll come back on.
Yeah.
It was funny. It was just like it went off, just like suddenly. She probably figured it out. I'm sure she got booted out, right? So she's not there anymore. You guys all okay? They're Lily and you're getting into this, I hope. Okay, good. Okay, good. Yeah, we're just waiting for Karen because we think she got booted out. We can pause the recording, I guess. I wasn't in the anger pose. It was so funny. And then one of the kids goes, you're like holding it there. I'm like, I don't know how long we're supposed to hold this for. It was so funny. Anyway, hilarious.
Okay, can you guys see me okay now? I'm back?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was fun.
Okay, so let's try that again. I'll share this again. Let's see.
We were frozen, all right.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Are we good? Can everybody see that okay? Yeah, okay, good. So we've already done the anger. I think we can move on. We all got frozen there. That's good. So the next facial expression that we're looking at is the anxiety facial expression. So if we can just try in our own space the anxiety facial expression, that would be great. So trying anxiety, you're biting your nails, you're really worried, this is really scary, something's bothering us, you're worried. Good, awesome. So moving on down, our next one is disgust. So something is really disgusting. So experimenting in your own face, it's really disgusting. Oh. And look at yourself on your screen. Look at your face that you're making. Practice it, right? What I would challenge you with is, can you make it bigger? Can you make it more bolder? Right? Excellent. Always push yourself that extra level. And going down to surprise. So we've had some experience with this, but let's really think about what happens to our face. We're really surprised. And again, this is something you can practice at your own mirror at home. You can always use your cell phone, turn your photo around. Now we're scared. We're very, very afraid. We're going to practice fear. Very worried. We're afraid. Okay, excellent. We're going to practice happiness. Happiness, often just a simple smile on your face. You're happy. You're feeling calm, pleasant. And now moving to sadness. Really think about what happens to your mouth in sadness. What happens to your eyebrows, your forehead, your eyes. And now moving into excitement. Wow, you just won the lottery. Great. You're so excited. Awesome, very good. Okay, so we're now going to move into our music interpretation section. Can everybody see my screen still and the music? Thumbs up, good. Okay, so if you actually take a look at the FINA judging manual, I have a couple quotes right from the FINA judging manual that says, movements and music should be blended into a oneness of expression. Consider character interpretations. How can the character be expressed through movement? What is the mood and the meaning? And what is the emotional impact? And then finally, considering dynamics. So actions match the tempo. Your memorable moments are matched to the highlights in the music. Movements match the power and delicacy in the music. So we've thought a little bit about emotions today. We've thought about our facial expressions that are connected to emotions. Now we're going to layer that onto music. And we're going to explore how different types of music make us move, make us feel, and the types of characters that we maybe want to express when we're listening to music. So what I want you to do is I'm going to be playing a couple different types of music. And what I want you to be doing today is just moving right now around your room to the music, thinking about who is the character that you can create to the music, and what are some of the facial expressions and emotions that go with that character. Thumbs up. Is everybody good? Everybody understands what we're going to do next? Good? Okay, awesome. So I'm going to play the music. Hopefully you can hear it okay. And I want you to just get up, start moving around your room to the music and see what that music does and how it makes you move. All right, so moving to the music, exploring in your space. Everybody hear the music okay? Thumbs up. Yeah, so moving to the music, exploring in your space. Let's go. Moving around the room, see what it makes you do. That's it, explore your movement. Good, and facial expression. Don't forget about your facial expression. And what does it make you do? What does it make you do? How does it make you move? Good, good. Now can you make it bigger? Can you make it bigger? That's it, make it bigger, more expressive. Very good, and if I freeze the music, I want you to take a pose in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a frozen pose, and I want to see the facial expression that that music inspired in you. If you're not in a frozen pose, yes, that's okay, just stay in it or get into it. A frozen pose that that music inspired in you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, freeze. Good, awesome, shake it off, shake it off. We're gonna go to a different type of music. Okay, here we go. We're gonna try a different type of music, moving around your room and your space and see how that music inspires you to move. Go, moving around your room. This is very rapid. This is very rapid, very expressive, moving around your room. What does it inspire you to do? What does it inspire you to do? How does it inspire you to move? And think about your facial expression. What type of facial expressions does it make you think about? Is it intense? Right? Are you angry? Are you excited? Are you fearful? Think about that. That's it. Very good. Very good. Go big. Make it bigger. Get ready to freeze in a pose in 5, 4, 3, pose. Can you make that pose bigger? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, freeze. Good. Even more dramatic. Excellent. Very good. Okay, we're gonna go to another piece of music. Here we go. Think about how this piece of music makes you feel and move around your room. All right, so moving around your room, thinking about how this piece of music makes you move, thinking about the type of character that it makes you think about, and moving, thinking about the facial expressions that you're expressing. Very good, and we're gonna take it to a frozen pose in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, freeze. Nice frozen pose, very dramatic, make it big. Don't forget about your facial expression. Don't forget about what the character is that you're communicating. Very good, awesome. And we're gonna go to our next piece of music. Here we go. And how are you moving around your room? How's that music making you move? Move around your room and make it bigger. That's it, make it bigger. How's that music making you move? Make it bigger. Make it bigger. Think of your facial expressions. That's it. That's it, excellent. And get ready to freeze. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, freeze. Big pose. Big pose. Excellent. And think about your pose. Can you push it? Can you make it bigger? Okay, can you make it more dramatic? Think about your audience. We're going to unfreeze the pose, refreeze it again in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, freeze. Excellent, very good. And we're going to another piece of music. Here we go. Moving around the room to your music. Thinking about the emotion that is expressed in the music. Excellent. And we're going to freeze our pose. Try and think of a large, big, larger than life, go big or go home pose that's really going to express to the audience your character and your emotions. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And breathe. Good. Excellent. Shake it off. And if you want to just take a water break, take a quick water break. Okay, and if you want to just maybe have a seat somewhere, and I'm not sure if you have anything to write with. If you have something to write with, that would be great. If you don't, that's okay. You can just keep it in your mind. So we're thinking about music, and we're thinking about interpretation, and we're thinking about the character that goes with a piece of music. Whenever we are first approaching our artistic swimming routine, you want to do this activity so that you have an understanding of who the character is and what the story is behind the music. Because if you don't understand the story, your audience isn't going to understand the story either. And if you don't know who the characters are, you're never going to be able to communicate those characters to the audience. And when we were talking about the FINA judging manual, we were talking about a oneness of performance. And a oneness of performance comes from embodying the character, becoming the character, understanding their pain, their suffering, their happy moments in life, their hopefulness, and being able to communicate that through movement, facial expressions, and interpretation in the water. So I'm going to play a song for you. And there's not a lot of singing in song, so there aren't a lot of words. There's not a lot of text, but I want you to think about who's the character, and what's the story behind the music. Now, the best thing is in this activity, it can be anything that you want it to be. So at this point, we're not looking at the
Okay, she's freezing again.
Karen, you're freezing. Hang on.
It's frozen again.
Is she back or no? No yet? No.
There now she left.
Okay. She's coming back soon. That's so fun.
Okay,
Yes,
I
welcome back.
lost you for a second. I'm back. So we're going to listen to a piece of music. What you're going to do is you're going to write down your thoughts about who the character is and what's happening in the piece of music. And it can be anything that you want it to be. All right, so there's no wrong answers here. You're just going to think about who the character is and what's happening in the piece of music. So here we go. I'm going to play it for you.
I can hear the music.
We can't
You
hear
can't
it.
hear it?
No.
No, we can't hear it.
Let me try to share my screen again. Maybe I didn't click the right button. Hold on. Here we go. This will work now.
I don't wanna waste what's left.
Now you should be able to hear it. I didn't click the button. So here we go. Listening to the music. Just writing your thoughts. Coming up with a story in your mind.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on
Okay, so you've had a chance to hear a little bit of the music. Hopefully you've had a chance to think a little bit about the story and who the character is. I'm going to continue playing the music, but what I want you to do now, though, is come up with 4 actions that you're going to be able to do repeatedly, 4 actions that tell your story, okay? As you're thinking about those actions, I want you to think about the facial expressions that go with the actions. So 4 different actions to tell this story. All right, here we go. I'll play the music. Start thinking of what your actions are going to be.
we'll go, finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest, echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't want to miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is just in your own space, we're going to explore our first action. Okay, so we're going to put the music on, And we're going to do our first action repeatedly, just so we can see that we have one action. All right. So if everyone could stand up, get into your neutral position, and start figuring out what your action is going to be. I'm going to put the music on, and I want you to just repetitively do whatever the first action is over and over again, okay? Just to, that way we make sure we know what it is, because you might want to explore and you might want to try out different actions, but I want you to think about making it larger than life. So remember, your audience is going to be far away, so you need to make it one action that's larger than life, and I want you to think about what is the emotion you're expressing, and what is the facial expression that goes with that emotion. So we'll just start with our first action. So here we go. We're going to start from the beginning. Here we go. And start doing your action over and over again, whatever it is. Whatever your action is.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't want to waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust.
So that was your first action. Now we're going to think about our second action. So we're going to layer on. So what is our second action going to be? We're going to try our second action. So it needs to be a little bit different than the first action, communicating something a little bit different. We're going to layer it on. So here we go. Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
No, I don't want to waste what's left.
Whatever your next action is. Okay, you're exploring your space.
We'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on.
Okay, so we're going to add the first action to the second action. Okay, so you're going to do your first action, your second action, back to your first action again. So you're going 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, here we go. Remember, think about facial expressions and what's happening. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. First action. Back to your first action. First action. Into your second action. Your second action. Good. Excellent. Very good. Okay, third action, right? Because I said 4 actions. So we're going to go into our third action now. All right, so here's the music and going into our third action. Okay, so third action, third action is. And repeat it. Just repeat your third action. Good. Very good. And think about facial expression. As you're repeating that third action, can you make it bigger? Can you push it? Make it really big. Good. Excellent. Okay, we're going to layer on now. So we're adding 1, 2, and 3. Okay, remember, you are a character. You're not yourself. You're expressing your emotions to the music, and you're making it as large and as dynamic and dramatic as can be, telling your story. You really want to get your story out there. We're going 1, 2, 3, repeat. Okay, action 1, 2, 3, repeat. We're going to go from the beginning. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so you're in your first action. First action, whatever your first action was, continuing your first action, and going into your second action.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't want to waste what's left.
Going into your
The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't want to waste what's left.
And back to your first action. First action, back to the beginning.
We'll go.
And into your second action.
Through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go.
All right, you know what's coming next is our fourth and final action. Okay, so our fourth and final action is going to tell this story. So here we go, whatever it is, repeating your fourth action over and over again. Here we go. Fourth action. That's it. gonna go back through the entire performance. So once again, you have a character, you have facial expressions, you're expressing some emotions. Before we go into our final performance of actions 1, 2, 3, and 4, I want you to think of an opening pose, so how you're gonna start when the music comes on, and an ending pose, so how you're gonna end when we get to the end of our performance. So in your own space right now, let's try our opening pose in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, freeze. And our ending pose in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, freeze. Excellent. Okay, so can you take your opening poses? We're gonna come back to the beginning of the music here. You're gonna take your opening pose. We're gonna go through actions 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we're going to end in our ending pose. Now you can repeat actions 1, 2, 3, and 4 several times if you want before we get to the ending. I'll walk you through it, okay? So here we go. We're going into our opening pose. Get ready, because we're starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And moving into your action number 1. And repeating action number 1 until I tell you.
Hold me close till
You're
I
in
get
action
up.
number 1.
Time is barely on our side.
Moving into
I
action
don't wanna
number
waste
2.
what's left.
Moving into action number 2.
The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll
And
ever
repeating action
trust.
number 2.
Yeah. No, I don't wanna waste
Moving
what's
into action number 3.
left. And
Moving into action number 3.
we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my
Continuing
shadow through
action
the sun
3. Keep
rays.
repeating it.
And
Continuing it.
on we'll go through the
And
wastelands, through the highways.
get ready for the drop of the music.
And
We're going to go into action number 4.
we'll
Action 4. Go. That's it. Moving to the music, think about facial expression. What's your emotion that you're showing? And get ready for your final pose. When you're ready, you're going to freeze in your final pose in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and freeze.
finding life along the way.
Okay, awesome. That's really great. Thank you so much. So what I want you to do is just sit down for a moment, and you had something to write with. You were writing down some of your thoughts. And what I want you to be thinking about is just your story that you created there. So I just want you to record and just quickly write down what it was that what your story was about, what actually happened to your character as you went through those movements. And we don't have time today to share everybody's stories, but what I'd like you to do is after SyncEffect is over for today as your homework, I'd like you to go and tell somebody that story. So find somebody at home, a friend, a sibling, anyone you want, your dog, and I want you to tell them your story. So what happened in the beginning, what happened in the middle, and what happened in the ending of your story. That would be great. So just write it down, take a moment to write it down. And when you're finished, just keep writing it down for now, but when you're finished, just sort of look up at the screen and then I'll know that you're done.
So you guys, when you're done, you can turn on your cameras, okay? Anyone who's had it off. when you're finished.
Awesome. And while you're writing that down, just one thing to think about, this is a really great activity that you can do with your own music for your own routine. Do some of your own, when you get your piece of music, do some of your own exploratory work. Come up with some actions yourself before you've even had your choreography. Think about who the character could be. Think about the story, and then go to your coach and share that with them. Because if you've done some of that exploratory work, your coach will be willing to work with you, and maybe that'll help with some of the choreography or some of the expressions that they add into your routines. But most important is that you personally need to understand the story and the character and what's going on as you progress through that piece of music. So we're going to finish today with just a guided meditation. I think it is so important that you take some time every day to meditate, to clear your mind. It helps you to be more focused. When you're thinking of character creation, it helps you to be able to clear your mind, to be able to be a clean slate, to take on character. Because what will happen as an actor, if you are carrying around a lot of baggage and a lot of stress, worry, and anxiety, that's going to naturally come into your character. If you can find a way to clear the slate, to calm yourself, and to find a really calm, neutral position, that you'll be able to layer on character and expression a lot more effectively. So we're going to do a guided relaxation. You need to find a spot where you're comfortable. If you have a spot you can lie down, that's great. If you're in a chair, if you want to just sit back comfortably in your chair, and you're going to close your eyes. So make sure you're in a spot where you're comfortable, and you're going to close your eyes. You're going to take a deep breath in, just like we did this morning. Deep breath in, and let the breath out. And if you're still working away and writing, I'm going to ask that you pause, and that you can go back to that after the session's over, but we're going to just do this reflection because I only have a few minutes left. So deep breath in, close your eyes, and let the breath out. And again, deep breath in, and let the breath out. And I want you to really let the sights and the sounds of your room fade away. I want you to only focus on your breathing and the sound of my voice coaching you through your breathing. So you're going to take another deep breath in, and let the breath go. A deep breath in, and let the breath go. I want you to imagine your body feeling deeply relaxed. And I want you to feel like your body is sinking into the floor or the chair where you're sitting. I want you to imagine that your limbs are getting very heavy. So your arms are beginning to feel very heavy. Your legs are beginning to feel very heavy. And take another deep breath in, and just enjoy the feeling as the breath comes out of feeling very relaxed. And deep breath in, and feeling very relaxed. Now I want you to think about everything that may be bothering you, worrying you in your life. Think about it for a moment. And when you take this next deep breath in, and when you let that breath out, I want you to imagine that you're letting everything go. So you're just going to let all those worries and all those anxieties and fears, even excitements, just let it all go. And imagine that you're seeing it blowing away on the wind. So deep breath in, think about what's bothering you, let the breath out, and just let it all go. Okay, we're going to do that one more time. Imagine that every single muscle in your body is carrying that tension, stress, anxiety, joy, everything that you're feeling in this moment. I want you to gather it all up from every muscle in your body. And I want you to take a deep breath in. I want you to imagine that it is a cloud, a beautiful cloud. And you're going to let the breath out and see the cloud just floating away into the sky. You're just going to let it all float away. So deep breath in and let it go. And now just enjoy that there's nothing in your mind. So you've cleared your mind. Everything's empty. Deep breath in. Let it go. Now we're going to imagine that we are a beautiful butterfly and we're just flying very high in the sky. I want you to imagine that below you is a beautiful valley full of many, many, many colors. And I want you to just feel yourself gently blowing on the breeze. And as the wind touches you, it's blowing away any final stresses or anxieties that you have. And you're gliding around and you're feeling very positive and warm, and the sun is warm on your face. And that's spreading this warm, positive peacefulness throughout your body. And as a butterfly, you're spreading your wings and you're spreading that kindness and that happiness and that warm glow that you feel on the outside. You're feeling it on the inside. And it's nice and you feel light and airy. And as you spread your wings, you're going to spread them into a huge stretch. And you can do this here, wherever you are, in your chair, on the ground. And you're spreading them out into a huge stretch. And you're completely peaceful. Feel that positive energy, completely peaceful. Deep breath in. And let the breath out. And I want you to imagine that you've landed now. And you're just feeling very peaceful. Very grounded. Take a deep breath in and give yourself another nice long stretch. Nice long stretch out. And I want you to think of a word, okay? And that's a word that's important to you. So it could be something like strength, hope, peace. And that is the word. In a moment, we're going to take a deep breath in. And when we release the breath, you're going to release that word. Okay, so you're doing a deep breath in, and it might be peacefulness, or it might be deep breath in, joy. And whatever that word is that you're chosen is going to be that word that you're left with for the rest of the day. So deep breath in and letting your word out, happiness. Deep breath in, letting your word out again, strength. Deep breath in, letting the word out again, joy. And when you're ready, you're going to take one final deep breath. You're going to take one final stretch, and you're going to let your breath out, open your eyes, and come back to us. And thank you very much for a wonderful session.
Thank you, Karen. That was so good because you know what? We started this morning with talking about breath and the importance of breath. So your session just went directly into, and posture. So it's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. That was really fun. And we're look forward to seeing you on Thursday again for our next session. So thank you so much, everybody. Let's
yes, definitely. Awesome.